What's up, everybody? Damian Brown here, Remax Ocean Point. Look, had a call this morning, and I mean really early this morning. A friend of mine, she's selling her home back east, and she calls me up, I need your help, I need your help. I said, okay, slow down. Happy to help. Give me some context. So, just listed her home. Phenomenal turnout for the open house, but only one offer. Just one. Although it was an at asking and very solid offer, just one offer. So the question was, Damian, should I take the first offer? Like, what do I do? And although I can't give you a yes or a no on whether or not you should take the first offer, every situation is different. Let me give you something I think will be of value. A little bit about how she felt and maybe another way to look at things. She felt overwhelmed. I mean, look, you're selling the most valuable asset that you may ever have, right? And you've got a contract in front of you that says you need to make a decision by this time. So, overwhelm was the first, and understandably so. The second one was like, should I wait a little longer in the hopes that I might be able to get a better offer? Definitely sensible, right? Number three was, did my realtor price it too low? I've got an at asking offer, very little and reasonable subjects. Like, what's the deal, right? So, keeping that all in mind, let me give you a way that I would look at things and how I typically deal with my clients. So, number one was overwhelm. Anytime, this is my advice in that anytime you have an emotional component into something, I feel it's really, really, really helpful to kind of set your decision-making parameters in advance without that emotion on the table. In this instance, anything below this, throw it out, right? And anything above that, let's have a conversation. The second thing to keep in the back of your mind with regards to the emotional component, understand you don't have to take any offer you don't want to take. So, and you can always counter, right? So, just kind of understand that making the decision, I think, beforehand can be helpful, and setting those parameters well in advance will go a long way. It'll help you act more quickly. It'll help make the situation less stressful, and you'll be able to think more clearly. The second one was like, should I wait longer and maybe I'll get more? And that could happen, right? Like, the more people that view your property, typically the higher you rate and the more competing interest you're gonna get. So, with all that in mind, there is a gotcha. And the gotcha is, if you wait too long, what's gonna happen? Generally, less offers, less favorable offers, which kind of sucks, right? And sometimes no offers. So you do run a risk of like having the market turn on you, or literally just everything, nothing else coming in. So having said that, there's a strategy that you can use, and that is to say that, let's say you list on the 1st of the month, you're not accepting offers until the 7th or the 14th. This gives some time to have that marketing strategy, that all the deployment, everything, get as much visibility as possible and garner as much interest as possible, so that when you sit down on the day of, it's a little less emotional. You've already dealt with your willing to accept and not willing to accept offers. You understand that you don't have to accept any of them, and if and when all those offers come in, you can sit down and view them in context and hopefully sign the best one, right? What I also think is useful to note is realtors such as myself have what's called a private client service. If you go to damianbrown.ca, look under the listings tab. You can literally fill in exactly the type of home that you're looking for, and then the moment one of those gets listed, it'll automatically send you an email with those homes that fit the criteria. This is great from a seller's point of view and as a buyer's point of view, of course. Pro tip, right? If you can get all these things sent to you before they typically go public, it gives you a huge leg up, especially in a market that's moving so quickly. But as we're talking about the selling point of view today, think about it. You might have at any one time 500 to 1,000 people looking at the type of homes that you're selling. So these buyers are typically working with real estate agents already. They've typically viewed multiple properties already. They're usually pre-qualified. So it's not uncommon to have a buyer in the 5-yard line ready to buy, just looking for that perfect home. So understand that if you are getting offers and getting them quickly, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be worried about it. You should probably accept it. I think a lot of times my experience has been the first offer is the best offer. There's a saying, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, I think. Take it with what you will, or with a grain of salt, but I think the idea is like, oftentimes it's a very good offer because it's a educated buyer that knows exactly what the market value is. And they might give you an over asking offer if they really want the property, but understand that usually it's a very good seamless transaction on the first offer. At least it's been my experience. The third thing, and the third clue was like, did my realtor underprice the property? Well, I mean, that's a scary thought, right? I mean, you could be losing out big on, but I don't think that's the case. I would say in less than 1% of the chances that it would be that, your realtor's underpriced your home. We do extensive market research and have data banks full of information and comparables that will allow us to, as accurately as possible, pinpoint the current market value. And I mean, in the end, the market is the one that sets the value. The people are the ones that is the market that are setting the value. So do kind of remember that. What I would say is like, there are other pricing strategies that you could use. You could try to price it lower in the hopes that you're gonna, garner more interest and then get people competing for that. But generally that's a conversation that you would have well in advance. So I would think that that's probably not the case that they undervalued it. More the case that you marketed the property very well. The market dynamics, of course, play a role in it. It could be priced appropriately, and that's why those seasoned buyers or the buyers that have seen multiple properties, this might even be their first home, but they've seen the first home purchase, so they've seen a lot of other homes, and they're just like, this is the one, right? And so they're willing to pay asking to ensure they get the property. So I hope that's brought you even a little bit of value. If you have any questions at all or want to talk about listing or buying, feel free to give me a shout. Thanks again for watching and have a great day. Ciao.